girls, welcome back for the Console League qualifiers once again. Continuing, we're in the semi-finals here over in Europe. I'm going to continue now with Barrage versus Rival. Two more teams that are entering the fray, looking for those points. You can see them on the top half. And Rival, they have Zenborne on here, who was part of the Guardian. He was the captain of Aware, who went to Worlds. And meanwhile, Barrage, well, I'm just reading off my cards here because I'm making sure I get all the information right. Watson over in the solo lane, who was credited as one of the best European players.
He was phenomenal. His play was just so good at the European regionals for console last year, so I'm excited to see him back in action and kind of see where he can take this team.
Well, we've also got on the side of Barrage, Jeron, who played for the Paradigm lineup as well, who did pretty well for themselves at the regionals too. But now we're into game. Barrage will be first pick, first ban, and they're going to immediately take Guan Yu away from this game.
Yeah, we saw Kaji actually play it last game here, but Barrage recognizing that they don't want to see it. They also take away Geb, and Rival bans away Ao Kwang. So the question here is, okay, they're going to take away the Kepri. So what is Barrage going to look for? Because Cleanup Crew first picked Kronos.
They did pick Kronos, and will Barrage look for the same for themselves is the question. Barrage, with all the opportunities available to them, Rival will get a double pick in response. Isis.
I feel like this is a much more respectable first pick. I mean, Isis right now is so good in the meta.
Well, you say that.
It's all about control. It's all about lane pressure right now. And if you can find lane pressure in 2+ lanes and have a really strong jungler to back that up, I mean, it's very hard to lose out early. And that's what's so important, is getting those leads early.
And talk about lane pressure. Sol has been locked in for Team Rival. That could go to the Hunter role or even mid, depending. It could go to Jeron, who played for Paradigm as the AD carry, now with Team Rival, or it could go to Elexum in the mid lane for them as well. We'll see where that ends up, but Athena locked in. So we're going to see some taunting action coming out from Rival.
Is Omega? Omega's playing?
Taunting action.
Omega.
Because he taunts?
VET, VET, VET. All the time, non-stop.
No, he's not good enough for
non-stop.
He's not good enough for console anymore.
He's not good enough for console.
No.
They left him. This is you anyway. Thor picked up
I mean, Envy's played in this tournament and he didn't get picked up. So.
They have one of the strongest early game combos in Thor Isis, and they're going to add Ymir to that. So
now this is taking a page out, really. The first two picks of Barrage, like Isis and Thor, is taking a page out of PC more often than not. They're obviously game started PC, now transition to console as well. But Isis, Thor, the strongest composition you could ask for in the mid jungle early on. Full control.
It's very hard, especially if they go power potions. Like, it's so hard to match up to. You actually can't fight. You actually can't take an Odin and jump into Thor Isis at level 2, because you will immediately die.
Well, I mean, unless you get the mid harpies, it's worth, right?
Probably not.
Oh, what if you
probably not.
Okay.
I mean, even if you get the mid, like, I don't know.
I'd never see
no one's going to do that.
I wouldn't see that happen.
The Xbox players aren't going to do that.
Odin locked in there, possibly jungle or solo laner here. More than likely, I want to say solo lane for this Odin, as they do go for the bans now and Hou-Yi taken away. You'll see Team Rival more than likely look to ban away some of these gods that have jumps in their kit. Isis, obviously, and Ymir cannot escape that ring.
It's going to be Giannis taken away from Barrage, so they're expecting the Soul to go into the duo lane, more than likely, and I mean, they have that Odin. It seems to be that's what they want to play around, and it's actually Kronos taken away. This is a little bit surprising. This must be kind of a they know what Barrage likes to play type deal.
These bans seem to tell me the Rival are going to put Sol in the Hunter role here, and obviously Barrage feel that as well. That's why they've banned away Scylla and Giannis from the mid lane. Rival need a mid laner then, and potentially a jungler, unless they're going to look for Odin or Athena to do that themselves.
I think Odin can go into the jungle. Odin right now is, like, you're not so strong yourself, but you're just so good at getting some of the top picks in the meta right now, right? Chirons and Isis, and you could see Barrage, since they have also picked up Ymir, allow your Odin to kind of run around and lock down these key targets.
I was going to say I really like that call of Zhong, because with the ring, Odin traps him inside and Zhong runs in that ring and causes havoc and get away from it if he needs to. But Ymir, as we learned before, is very, very good at keeping Zhong out of fights.
And it doesn't really seem that Barrage is too worried about this Odin. They've picked up Xbalanque when a god like Ullr's on available, although Ullr a little bit hard on console. Probably not something they wanted to play. Their last pick coming through, more than likely going to be their solo laner, and it's going to be Hades. So there they got something that can escape out of that Odin ring.
They do indeed, and it's back over to Rival for their final pick. And it'll actually give us a little bit of an inkling of where Odin and Athena are both going to go here.
Athena's support.
You reckon it's support and Odin solo?
It's going to be support. No, I think Odin's jungle.
Well, we'll find out. Rival.
Either way, this is a very tanky lineup right now, and if Odin is in the jungle and they go another front line over in the soul, like a Vamana, like, it is very hard to kill the players on Rival. And I'm a little bit worried too, because you look at Barrage and they don't really have this massive burst potential outside of the early game. all Rival have to do is survive for the first 15 minutes without getting too far behind, and I think they win this coming into the mid game. And then super late game when the Xbalanque comes online and Isis has, Soul Reaver, gets a little bit harder, but they have this mid game window where I don't think Rival can touch them, Barrage can touch them.
I agree. I think Rival have the superior composition going mid to late game overall, just because of how tanky their composition is. But the question is, can Barrage get something going in the early game with Ymir, with Isis, with Thor? If they can snowball this hard enough and maybe pick a Gold Fury or two up, they could put it out of reach of Rival, get themselves back in this game.
You can, and that's the point as well. For Rival is they picked Thor Isis because they want to win early game. They added the Ymir with that as well, and basically they have their Xbalanque for, all right, if it does go late game, let's have the Xbalanque.
Well, we're going to see some of these players a few times, so let's go through the rosters here. Gnome will be played for Team Rifle in the solo lane as Vamana. Hyrdra will be playing Odin in the jungle, as we expected. As well as we'll see Atonement in mid lane on that Zhong. Zenborne will join him with Athena, and Headhunter will be playing Sol in that duo lane together. Across the way, Barrage though, well, they've got Watson over in the solo lane playing the Hades, Lycan in the jungle as Thor, or in the mid lane as the, sorry, in the mid, no, that's wrong. That's a lie. I'm lying.
What are you doing?
It's Elexum. I read him wrong. Blame Adanas, the cameraman. Adanas, get your camera work sorted.
I'm not doing camera.
You are doing
I
camera.
haven't done camera for like a year.
I can see you with the controller right now. Don't lie to me. Elexum's in mid lane, and Or and Jeron finally
right now.
in the duo.
That's
Start the game. We didn't see anything too crazy here. Nobody took the right-hand Harpies here by Rival or Barrage.
Or left, yeah.
So they're both still standing at the moment. They both just went for the safer option. Worried about invades potentially or falling behind. So Thor's going to join the mid lane. And already Isis Thor have lane dominance already.
And look at this Hyrdra. Ooh, this could be trouble for the Zhong. I mean, he's going to live, but that's a lot of poking. It gets so much harder for him. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have his heal online yet. It's going to take a while. It's going to. He's open to die, right? And that's the problem right now. And he's actually going to go over to these right-hand Harpies. If Thor and Isis could finish these fast enough, all right. I don't think they'll be there in time.
They use most of the poke.
Okay, this is what's going to happen though. Right now, Rival are going to get the lead, and I think the names at the top are mixed up. Because Rival it's Rival Elexum.
It's fine. Hyrdra going to get poked a little bit by Lycan. The team names are correct. Just
I got mad because he has the Rival tag. I got thrown off for a second. The Isis got kicked, I guess.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he replaced himself.
He replaced himself. Maybe he left.
Maybe he left to join Barrage. That's what happened here. Don't get confused with the names on Xbox so much for now. Everybody seems to like to put it into the tag and then change teams. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Shouts to Freya.
Hey, Cog Freya.
Cog Freya.
I don't think he's changed.
Oh, these two are doing work here, though. Ymir and Jeron.
I mean, you always got to be scared of Ymir. There's just so much kill potential. He has Glacial Strike, just does so much damage early on. That's why you see Ymir able to be played in the jungle and solo lane sometimes.
Needs to be. Actually, I was worried about Watson for a second. He was doing the imps at the same time. But there was a collapse over from the right side from Team Rival. In the end, they're not going to find it. Instead, you're going to see Hyrdra and Gnome doing that right-hand ball camp for the time being. But going back to the duo lane again, I mean, Ymir and Xbalanque should not be out-clearing a Sol Athena early on. This is all Ymir that's doing this lane pressure here solo.
I mean, Xbalanque can't clear the wave. And he also had his poison darts nerfed, I don't know, half a year ago about? Going to be a pause by Lycan here. We'll get that sorted out. But, I mean, so far, this early pressure comp has been successful. They haven't found any kills, but they're finding experience leads right now. And you could see the Zhong almost died. He was forced back to lane, actually incredibly early, or forced back to base incredibly early.
Big key about that as well is that Thor and Isis will hit level 5 quicker, which means they should be looking for a rotation somewhere. The only problem is that all three lanes are dominating for Barrage here, so finding a kill, they're going to have to go deep, potentially under a tower to find it.
That or they just need to wait and start stealing away these camps.
Which is
you can see the left-hand side boars, they're spawned, the back Harpies, they're going to be stolen away, and there's really nothing Rival can do about this.
We're watching all
They got to wait it out.
And Or is doing such good work here, just zoning them off the experience as much as possible. They don't want to contest him. Nobody's here to support. They can't really because Odin and Zhong had trouble there as well. There's a freeze. Once again, has to use a disapparate to get away from danger, but they lose the balls on the left-hand side to the mid and jungler of Barrage.
Level 5 for Thor, and it looks like they want to dive this. You could see waiting in the jungle, but I mean, the Zhong and Odin did see them, and there's the Thors going to the sky. They're going to be looking for this soul.
They're going to have to dive. They're going to dive. They're going they switch targets between the two, and in the end, Athena will fall down. I like the call, actually.
That's fantastic call. Especially considering that Athena has to charge up her dash, and you could get the immunity coming out from Disasperate on Soul. fantastic target selection and first blood the way of Barrage, and this is kind of what we expected from their high pressure comp.
They need to do it.
They
because
have
we said
to.
the mid-late game is definitely going to go in Rival's favor, but Barrage can put it out of their reach potentially, and that's what they're looking to do. Red buff is available. Odin going to get poked a little bit. Gets walled off. Freeze does not connect from more, just a little bit out of range there. So they fail on that attempt, and the red buff should be available now for Rival to take themselves. They took the safer route for it, but there's going to be no contest by Barrage here.
I'm a little bit surprised here. Thor just hitting level 6, Odin already level 6, so I mean, we are seeing some experience leads in favor of Rival. That is brutal.
No, it's not. Calculated.
I'm really surprised that Odin didn't chase the Isis. Does he know that you can walk out of your ring now? Because the Zhong walked out. He was chasing him.
What do you mean? Odin stayed in the ring, you mean?
Yeah. You know.
Maybe you just went to leap over the wall for the farm. That's what it looked like to me anyway. 4.5 minutes in. Checking with the golden experience is definitely in Barrage's favor for now. 1,500 experience is the tagline. 1,300 gold too. It's kind of what to expect when you've got Thor and Isis on your roster. I would have actually liked to have seen Rivals duo lane, even though they were dominating so hard. They could potentially look to just give it up a little bit in that lane to allow Thor to go over there and keep ganking. Let Sol get a little bit too far ahead of herself and look for the ganks over in that left-hand side. And now it's Sol versus Xbalanque only in that duo lane for the most part. You'll see Sol start to dominate with that wave clear advantage.
Oh, look at this. Odin coming over to the solo lane. He doesn't have his
Maybe
ult
the
yet,
dash
but they're
on
trying to bait Watson to dash, but he's not going to take it. He's going to see the Odin now and dash through him. He'll be fine. But honestly, if Odin had his ult there and waited, actually, I think it just came up.
It was available,
Just came up,
but not going to find it. Xbalanque going to head back to the duo lane now. He's losing a couple of minions to the tower there. Has got his Transcendence online now for Jeron. Jeron, like I said, played for Paradigm last season as well in the regional, so he's got some experience in this at the moment. Did well for themselves there, but Barrage trying to abuse their early game with the Ymir and Isis combo.
Their control over this is so strong. There's no way he's going to steal it away. Barrage has it, and Athena's going to die.
Honestly, that was a mistimed ultimate coming out from Isis there. It was a chance of a steal. However,
very slight. I mean, there's not only is there the Ice Assault, but you also have Xbalanque, who does so much damage once the Branching Bolas is activated, as well as that Ymir ultimate. This is exactly what Barrage have to do. They are playing their team comp perfectly. And Rival so far, to their credit, I mean, there's been nothing that they have been able to do. All they need to do is try and survive and make sure this lead from Barrage doesn't get too out of control.
Well, Atonement in the mid lane on that Zhong working towards an early Warlock Sash. No boots online for him just yet as well. Just keep an eye on that one. As you can see, Isis did start with a Doom Mob, so both these mid laners just using their natural mobility to their advantage. Isis with a little bit of an advantage there. But as soon as Warlock Sash comes online for Atonement, it's going to be a different story of how hard it is going to be to kill him.
Odin here waiting in the jungle.
Hyrdra does not have a blink, only purification, so he'd have to leap over. He wanted to go for the option. Instead, he's going to swing around for the farm in mid. Atonement going to heal himself up with the exorcism once more.
I wonder what Odin's build is going to be, because there's been a couple options we've seen. A lot of pings coming out. Some will go straight into the damage like Yoten's, but some will actually just immediately tank up and they know that their abilities are strong at the base and just start stacking that cooldown. They get Breastplate online first. And we haven't really seen too much out of Hyrdra so far. And look at this, though. Red buff going to spawn, and Athena in a bad spot.
Great wall, great freeze, good poke, but it's not enough to find the kill. Xbalanque also going to ult there as well. So they're not going to actually find anything of that. Jeron uses ultimate, looking for it, not going to find it. And now Headhunter coming around trying to secure. I believe she secured her red buff there.
They did, and now Awe in a bad spot. Odin trying to find the ultimate. Two-man taunt from Zenborne, and here it is. Hydra's going in, bringing out Ymir, but Lycan able to pick up Zenborne in the meantime.
And instead, though, they're going to see Watson coming with a big pillar of agony that pulls them all in. Barrage, destroy Rival, and now Hyrdra is surrounded by 4 members with the Gold Fury already down. He's going to bravely run away with the lunge, but Watson going to give chase again. The solo laner giving so much credit for his performances so far. Still looking for the kill, not going to find the in-hands. He may continue looking for the dive, though.
I thought he was going to go for it. There was no one to really stop him. The Athena ult was available if he did dive in, but I don't think Hyrdra would have been able to survive that. And I mean, Watson with the phenomenal, I believe that was a teleport in? Yeah, he teleported in, finds the big ultimate, and honestly, these Hades players, so effective right now in both games.
However, though, Gnome will pick up Elexum in the mid lane here. He'll fall down, overstaying his welcome, getting hit by that taunt. Thor did ult in, looking for the turn around and help out his teammate, but too little too late. Instead, he'll take up the left-hand Harpies. And the gold lead, well, it's been stretched for Barrage once more.
3,000 now as mid Harpies being contested here by Lycan. and Zenborne, but with Hyrdra rotating in as well, Lycan electing to give him up for now. But we saw the big weakness of Ymir, especially against an Odin in that last team fight. Gets walled out from the rest of his team, and really he can't do anything at that point.
Well, to be fair, what he did though was use his ultimate, channel it, keep people slowed down even though they're inside it. Got hit by the circle of protection, but all that time allowed Watson to just turn up with the teleport and hit multiple people with the Pillar of Agony.
Ooh, look at this Headhunter. He's going to be caught out in the meantime. Nice wall.
Well, it's not going to really help against, though, a monstrous soul. The damage came out from the ultimate, not enough to find Or, and now with Jeron being there as well, Or will live. I like Or's playstyle so far, though. Not upset with it. He's 1-1 and 5 and doing good work, but look at this Odin. Hyrdra is around the corner, and Xbalanque or Ymir do not want to get caught by an Odin ring.
Lycan rotated in as well. You could see him in the jungle. He's going to find Hyrdra. And they're going to be swinging away at each other for now. Hyrdra going to pop his Raven Shield. Is he going to Bird Bomb? That's the question. No.
Just go put Poke. Good choice of Poke there from Hyrdra, saving his lunge to his advantage. I'm surprised Lycan's not playing Fenrir, though. You know?
That'd be pretty good.
I mean,
just for the name. You got the name. You got to play Fenrir, right?
You play Thor. You play Fenrir.
Come on, man. Game pace slowed down a little bit, though. 10 minutes in, 6-2 in kills and Barrage.
See, Gnome knows what he's doing. Gnome picked Vamana. Right? He's stuck to his namesake.
Did you recognize that at the start?
No, I just recognize it now, and that's called commentary, that is.
Oh, man.
Finding taglines as we go along.
Yeah, I got completely lost. What was I talking about? Oh, I was recapping where we're at. 10 minutes in, 6-2 in kills, 3,000 gold lead for Barrage. But really, it's not as big as they need it. They need to extend this. They need to find a couple more kills. Or really just set up and force this next goal period. I think that's what they're doing. Right now, no. Heading into the 15-minute mark, I think they need probably about a 6-7K lead to feel comfortable.
Keep an eye on that. 6-7K is the call. /9 then from Adanas. Golf Fury is about to spawn, and look at the position from Barrage. And look, unfortunately, Jeron is sat in a ward there, so they know exactly what's going on here. Do Team Rival, so they're not going to.
Hey man, he's like, shh, no one.
Well, the red buff's up, so this is working out well for Barrage. They're just denying it, and instead, they're just going to walk in and take it now. Turn around though, coming out from Sol, looking to defend, or misses the freeze. Spirit Ball over the wall does not connect either. The wall going to buy him a second to retreat back towards the Golf Fury area there. Half of the jungle. Taunt comes out onto Elexum, and they're going for the all-in on Odin, with Odin. And Hyrdra gets the kill. Ring down.
Deleted immediately. Hyrdra, one hit, he's going to fall, and that means Isis.
Watson's here again though. And there's two people now going to be pulled in the Pillar of Agony. Zenborne's in a world of hurt. Jeron's there in support as well. Watson and Jeron combine. Atonement going very deep looking for Or, not going to find him. He's now out of position and has to relocate back towards his team, but reinforcements pushing away Watson. Curse comes out, and there's the dash from Watson to get away from the danger. Golf Fury still stands 8-3.
I mean, the beginning of that fight, just deletion by Hyrdra, just completely eliminates the Isis, jumps in on her, and that's one of the big weaknesses of Isis, and honestly, one of the strengths of Odin. If you find a mage that's half-life this early on, you can just kill them if they're not ready for it with Sanctuary.
Well, Rival were actually looking at doing the Golf Fury there. They pulled it for a moment and realized better of it. Now Watson over here trying to farm up and heal a little bit, recognizing that now he's used the teleport, he has to abuse it to the best. Freeze onto two members coming out from Or, and Atonement is going to fall down here more than likely. If they can find one or two more hits, they will find him. Double tap does connect from Lycan, and another member of Team Rival falls.
Hydra's back in the mid lane though, and All right now has been, honestly, I've been in awe of All. Right? It wasn't just the two-man freeze, right? He set it up with that wall perfectly blocking off the two players' paths, and he's really been this front line for Barrage, and this very aggressive support as well that's allowed and enabled them to find these kills.
Elexum looking for a little bit of a cheeky steal on that blue buff over the wall. Not going to find it though. Instead, he'll take the results of the right and Harpy still being up. Left ones just went the way of Barrage as well, with Thor and Ymir combining, and they're looking to clear out wards around the Golf Fury for now. Get control of that Golf Fury area once more for now, but immediately Zenborne's back.
And the problem with that last fight was Barrage wanted to do the Gold Fury, but it just seems like they got a little bit too scared after they stole the red buff, allowing Zenborne to come in and find a taunt onto the Isis and immediately blow her up. And once the Isis is down, you can't really force that Gold Fury anymore. So I want to see Barrage be a little bit more committed and stick together when they want to force these objectives, instead of allowing Athena to kind of pick them off and split them up.
And I think that's one of the things with Barrage. If they don't get that gold lead they're looking for, that big lead over Team Rival, it's a decent one for now. If they don't find that, what they're going to have to do is combine their CC very, very effectively to shut down Rival on these team fights.
And you can see, I think Barrage is a little bit timid to try and force this Gold Fury after
they slowed down.
The unsuccessful one.
They have slowed down a little bit.
They definitely need to try and force a pick so they can go for it.
But where are you looking for the pick on here? That's the question.
That's the thing, is that, you know, Rival's getting to this point where all the members are tanky, and now they're starting to feel it. I mean, Warlock Sash picked up
you've got
by the mid
three
laner.
Hide of the Urchins coming online for Rival here. Vamana, Odin, and the Athena are going to be taking that. You got Warlock Sash starting to be stacked up on Zhong. And then, you could choose Sol, I guess, but then Disappare.
It's going to be hard to lock him down. And Soul also has both her relics online, not only the Purification, but Sanctuary as well. And there's also a shell picked up by Odin. I mean, it's going to be really hard to kill him. And Hyrdra, look at that, doesn't even care.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he got the shield up just in time, actually, for the double tap. He didn't get it in time for the freeze. Took a little bit of poke, but it'll be fine for now. Level 11 now is all on this Ymir, who's doing good work. But you can see, you mentioned about the relics coming online. Now, there is a small window here for Barrage with the double relics on most of their people.
And, you know, I mean, everyone basically has double relics at this point. There's only 3 members on the board, and it's the Ymir and
Zhong, though,
the mid laner, yeah. And look at this, though. All going to pick off one player. Nice Spirit Ball. Zenborne trying to get his ultimate off, but actually cancels it as Headhunter rotates in and forces all off. But once again, I mean, Barrage, that's not a big win for them, because this Athena is forced back to base, but she can come back in with her ultimate.
Teleport in from Gnome as well. Going to try and come in and support. Athena's going to ult him. All's going to freeze onto both of them. Try and wall them off too, so we can take it damage. But look at the right-hand side of this map. Atonement gets some good ghost damage off. The ring is down too. But Watson is here to try and turn it around with the pillars. Jeron gets credit for one as Headhunter takes out Lycan. The card missing from Atonement, and Jeron turns his attention towards Zhong. Ring around the roses. A pocket full of poses. Freeze onto Atonement, and Jeron gets credit for the kill. But Watson is wrecking havoc.
Sanctuary for now. 2 players very low. Watson finds Zenborne, and he's going to find a second double as Headhunter falls, and somehow Barrage won that fight. I mean, it was back and forth for a while, but in the 3v3, Barrage able to successfully kite around a couple players, and now Watson just going to take this mid lane wave, but no Gold Fury for them.
And that's the big key from what I can tell from Barrage here is Rival the ones went aggressive with the ring, with the Zhong, looking for the picks, but they didn't have the damage to kill the targets in time. Watson turns up, they've used everything, gets a good Pillar of Agony off, and it turns back round in Barrage's favor.
It just seems that Watson has been so much more effective in Gnome, and it doesn't mean that one player's there before. They're actually both in these fights at the same time. But Watson's Pillar of Agonies have just been so useful.
They've been effective, but also took Vamana out of the fight. Gnome wasn't able to get in there. He walled him off, froze him, walled him off from getting the engagement with Athena. That isolated the 3 members that were diving in from Rival, and gave Barrage that advantage for Watson to really shine.
And now Watson's just going to pressure this tower, and might even be able to take it as the second waves come in, because Gnome, he doesn't have a teleport, and this is going to be a right tier 1 tower.
It's only at half health though, and the new minion wave coming in. He needs that extra minion wave coming in for now. Gnome might be able to get back there in time to save it. I doubt it.
There's no way.
It's close.
There's no way. I'll bet you $5 right now.
I'm not betting you.
Because you know I'm right.
Well, $5 is nothing. It's silly money.
I'll bet you 5 pieces of paper with like that old lady on them.
The old lady on them?
The old lady.
We use euros mainly in Europe, just so you know.
Nah, but in the UK. Don't you guys still use pounds?
Depends where in the UK.
Oh, that's true. Oh, caught out though. Zenborne could be in trouble. Oh, just body blocking him so well, and it's just going to be a matter of who gets the last hit, and it will be the Isis. But those body blocks from, just not allowing Zenborne to escape anywhere.
But the Gold Fury is still standing here, and you said you were looking for 7,000 gold. Let's check in with the graphs right now with the Gold Fury still standing.
It's close.
5,000.
This game could go either way.
This is later on in the game than what you would like in, though. 17
That's
minutes.
true. It's not like a 14, 15-minute mark.
Oh, a lot of poke onto Sol. Sol ate a lot of poke damage there. Disappare now burnt as well. And there's Watson going in with a Pillar of Agony, going to force a lot of issues for the team. Gnome on the front line.
Gnome's alone, though.
Trying to bone out. He's not anymore as Athena's coming in inside the circle of protection. That's going to be a lot of poke damage if he gets isolated. Instead, it's just a big heal. Zenborne, half health again, has to disengage. Gnome, full health. Atonement trying to keep the aggro back.
Look at Lycan, though. Sanctuary, nice freeze by the wall actually. Lycan.
Teammate for a second. Hyrdra didn't actually do anything in that engage. I'm quite surprised by that. He did use it. He didn't use it. Did he use his ring? He did.
I think at the start. He's got Shell online, but he's only level 13, and that's one of the problems right now is kind of this disparity in levels. Watson is level 19. He's doing so much damage to these players who are level 10, 13, and 14 that they can't fight into him for now. So when the solo laners are involved, I mean, Rival just can't be there.
Headhunter get aggressive again. You've got to use a disapparate. And now the whole team of Rival is here. Torn onto Or. Or's in a world of hurt now. Going to get collapsed immediately. Watson, though, is here in support. And Headhunter gets a very good Sanctuary off to survive for now. Calls for reinforcements and Gnome turns up. Hyrdra chasing down Jeron, but a good Sanctuary from him will stop the damage coming off. Watson still feeling himself, looking for Headhunter. Now surrounded by Thor and Lycan, like you said, in the air, turns up.
Oh, look at this, though. Watson in a bad spot on Half-Life. Lycan trying to get away, but the Ghosts are going to chase him down. Jeron is carded, and Watson, he was trying to wait for the perfect time to use his ultimate, but there's been no perfect time, and it's only a matter as Zenborne finishes him off, and Rival pick up 3 members in a very extended engagement.
And one of them is Watson, who was on a kill streak there, 5-0-3 he was before that. Gets shut down now, and this gives an opportunity for Rival to push onto this tier 1 tower in the left-hand lane. It will fall down. Jeron, very low on mana, on half HP. He has to watch his positioning, or this is what's going to happen to you.
Oh, look at this. Isis trying to do her best to keep Jeron alive, but Headhunter nicely places his ultimate, finishes off the kill, tier 1 down. Oz actually come back and respawn, and he doesn't want them to back. Gnome gonna get frozen out here. But I mean, Zhong's waiting around the corner, and Isis gets carted up and recognizes that she can't keep chasing.
I do like the call from Rival, though. They took the advantage, they got the tower, and then left immediately. They didn't hang around and try and push on for a second tower, didn't overstay their welcome. They took what they could, and they're closing the golden experience gap.
Red buff gonna be picked up by Isis for now, and honestly, look at this damage on the Odin, 2,600. Hydra's kind of been a non-factor. The only thing we've really seen him do is jump onto that Isis during the Gold Fury.
I mean, mentioning Hyrdra as well, I would have liked to have seen him go for the blink over the shell, just so he could initiate a little bit more effectively, save his lunge to close a gap again, or disengage if he needs
if he's
to.
going for this really tanky build, he doesn't really need purification at that point, right? If he's when you go that tanky, you kind of want players to attack you because they're just wasting their abilities, and purification isn't going to save you any more or less than just having all that health.
Or once again, going aggressive, getting some poke off, but immediately retreating when his team does as well. Elexum a little bit low on HP there on the Isis, so just going to quickly recall back to Vase. Gold Fury control is in Rival's favor here, but they don't want to really go for this. I think they want to wait for the enemy team to engage it and try and counter.
And, you know, Watson, now level 20, has his mantle online as well as his breastplate of valor. I mean, he's not really getting any stronger than he is right now. And the effect of comparing it to the rest of the players, like Rival, they're only going to be closing the gap now that Watson's level 20. Mm-hmm. He's got all his core items online, and he's not going to be able to have those big impact ults that he did earlier.
You can see Gnome's been slowly closing that gap, level 19 now, 1, 1, and 7. Got his Heart of the Urchin stacking up, already at 6 stacks there. His tanky build's coming online, and Rival, well, they're going to try and abuse positioning more than anything, but Watson comes over, gets a good silence off onto Gnome. The wave gets deleted, and
big
that means
freeze.
Aggression. Nope, no big freeze at all. Surprised Hyrdra didn't look for a ring then to try and just pick off the Ymir.
He's been a little bit hesitant all game. I think he's
second guessing himself a little bit?
I think so. He doesn't seem to know exactly when he should be going in and when to back off, but that's kind of the beauty of Rival's team, is that they're so tanky that they can afford making some mistakes and still win these team fights. Whereas Barrage, right, Isis and Xbalanque take 1 foot out of position and they're dead.
We're both looking for a fight here. Watson very far forward, looking for an opportunity to dive in if he can find it.
Rival could definitely win this fight, right? It's a lot of it's going to come down to when and where Hyrdra places his ring now.
As well as where Atonement gets off with his ultimate as well, if he can get it off in the right position and be tanky enough to survive. Or going to spot him out, clearing out that ward there. But Atonement gets credit for that one, and it's actually Watson on the front side, going to get poked a little bit, dash back towards mid lane, and now it's all in the jungle in a bit of trouble here. That burst was huge on Thor, but he does get out of danger. Sanctuary used, Gnome going to give chase to make sure he picks up that kill, which he does. Pillar hits onto Headhunter, but the Sanctuary will keep him alive. All still stands as Watson does some damage. Zenborne ulting in as well for reinforcements. Bird Bomb does not connect from Hyrdra, but Atonement picks up Or, and the chase is on from Rival.
There's going to be the curse activated. Watson trying to get away. Spear ball over the wall, and honestly, Watson putting some return damage, dashes in. Silence, not there. Isis on the right-hand side, though, going to be chasing out Zenborne. Zenborne's on 1 hit, and he will get picked off.
But then look at that, Watson's going to have to dash away, though. He did a good job of being on the front line there. But Isis looking for the kill on Isis onto Athena meant that the rest of the team had to disengage. They didn't lose anybody, though, extra after the re-engage from them. But Barrage did good work and stopped them doing the Gold Fury for now. Team Rival.
And this team comp from Rival, right, 20 minutes in, this is their time to shine. They have the better comp for this mid game. Basically, Barrage wasn't able to get the lead that they needed.
And Watson did a good job there of teleporting straight back after healing, putting the pressure back on, trying to deny them getting anything too much out of the jungle here. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too little too late. Right Harpies and left Harpies both go to Team Rival, as well as the red buff was stolen away there and given over to Atonement on Team Rival. And that gold gap has slowly but surely been reduced here by Team Rival. And we said mid-game, we like Rival's composition.
I mean, it's only 1,000 gold difference. That's nothing at this point. Experience dead even as well. And Watson just, unfortunately for him, like, he's on this Hades, and he's not going to be able to have as big as an impact against this really tanky lineup now. Mid lane being sieged. Left-hand side, though, Jeron able to pick up a tier 1, uncontested. Gold Fury still stands, but neither team seem to want to try and force it anymore.
Looking at the junglers as well, a little bit surprised to see Lycan falling behind as much as he has done on this Thor 2 levels.
He's been
down
behind
there.
all game, honestly. It just seems to be he was trying to force so many fights early that he wasn't able to farm efficiently, and now that all that's been happening is fighting, it's been hard for him to catch back up.
Instead, he's looking for fights again. Zenborne going to get hit by the ult by Orb, but it's not enough damage to bring down Athena, that's for sure. For the time being, they will get ward control around that area for now, but Rival in the area should be able to drop a ward themselves, and they do indeed, and clear out the vision.
The ward battle. Hyrdra, though, I think he's going to drop his own sentry.
He had a much better fight that time as well, Hyrdra. That last engage, that last little team fight, his position was good. His bird bomb did a lot of devastating damage onto Lycan and took him out of the engagement completely.
And I mean, he's going to finish off with the Jotuns here, and he's kind of, he has warrior-based stats, and he's tagging up with his Urchin at 5 stacks and the Bulwark online. I mean, Hyrdra can kind of just jump in and not worry too much.
Well, with the shell as well, and it'll make him tanky. I just think he's got 2 defensive items, which I don't think he needed both of. As Headhunter feeling himself in the mid lane, they're going to use Disapparate early. The wall will not stop him, but that Pillar of Agony will. Sanctuary burn in response, though, from Headhunter. And here comes Odin.
Oh, and Oz trapped in the cage, and you can see the damage raining on. Oz doing his best to try and juke, but the ghosts are coming out. You can't avoid that. Watson has to dash back under his tower, and Rival successfully pick up Ymir once again.
Few ultimates, though, that was wasted just to pick up Ore, and it's not going to be enough now to turn that one around, I don't think. Rival won't find anything off this unless Barrage all back, and it's only Lycan doing so right now.
And you can see Gold Fury started up, but the Isis knows something's going on. She's going to rotate in. Jeron's going to be here as well.
We'll see if they can actually burst this down in time is the question. Already below 50% now. Spirit Ball misses. Not reset just yet. Now it has been.
Oh, but they allowed time for Watson and Lycan to come back in. I'm really surprised. Rival easily could have forced that. I guess they don't have the guaranteed secure like an Isis.
I think the wall coverage was a big issue for them there. They didn't see where everybody was. Where was Watson was the big issue. Did he have teleport up? Another question that they had to ask and they didn't know the answer to.
Oh, teleport coming in from Athena.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if Rival want to force this.
I think that was just an ultimate defensively thinking that he was going to get all in, and he wasn't in the end. So Athena ultimate down for the time being. Left on Harpies spawn, Hyrdra and Lycan in the area, waiting in the wings from the engagement, or heading back to the front line once more for Barrage, who's been doing this all game long.
And you can see Watson, just this front liner, trying to catch someone walking back into the tower, but no one on Rival takes an awkward path.
I mean, it takes the whole team to really bring him down. That's what we've seen so far. 4 or 5 men to actually bring down Watson. He's doing a very good job of being a front line for his team.
The problem is that Barrage, they're not going to have the damage to take out any of these members except for Headhunter maybe. Watson going in, Pillar of Agony on 2. Spirit Ball connects. Headhunter barely escapes. Lycan a second too late. Is able to pick up Zhong though.
Big Baby is online. Circle of Protection defended, and Hyrdra ran away there. The ring did not do enough work for them. And it's actually Barrage able to go aggressive again with Watson healing off those minions too. They're going to look for the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. And honestly, Watson, we said the weakest target on the side of Rival, the one that they could potentially go for, is Headhunter. And what Watson is doing every single time, heading straight for that soul, forcing Disapparate, forcing Sanctuary, and then they're getting follow-up from the rest of the team.
Gold Fury going to be the reward for that fight, and Barrage now take control of this game once again. 5,000 gold lead for them, 4,000 gold lead. Experience all close, but look at this, Watson once again, he's not letting anyone get away for free. Zenborne going to burn his ult, try and get out.
He will get out as the Gold Fury falls again. Gold lead goes back in favor of Barrage as expected. And I'm actually really liking Barrage here as a team. I love the idea of Watson as well as all being this frontline tanks for the team. They're very, very good with the position.
Watson and all are the 2 players who have impressed me the most so far, right? Like Lycan and...
Lycan's got to work a little bit more on his farming.
Lycan, like Elexum, and Jeron, they've all kind of done their jobs for the most part, but it's just been this frontline presence from these 2 players.
To be fair to Jeron, Jeron's had a very good game, from my opinion. He's been in the right position
quiet,
at the right time. But he's been in the right position at the right time. He's not been picked very, very easily. He knows when to get around. The only time he got picked was that taunt earlier on when he stuck around a little bit too long. But Fire Giant just got pulled here.
I think they were just trying to clear out the minions and swung away at him on accident.
By accident. I hate on accident.
On accident.
It's by accident.
On accident.
It's not on accident.
It was on the accident itself.
What was the accident?
The accident was Fire Giant got pulled.
So he was on top
and
of the
Hyrdra
accident.
was on top of that. So he jumped on and forced the
It
accident.
was by accident.
21,000 damage by Watson so far. And I mean, he really doesn't have any damage at him outside of his boots, obviously. And
that's the issue with
the
Rival
Warlock
right now,
Sash.
is the damage charts are really reflecting what's going on in these engagements. Yes, they're tanky, but no, they're not doing enough damage to bring down the targets. Odin's just there for the ring right now, quite clearly by his damage options. Athena's just there for the taunts right now and the ultimates, and not getting much damage off. Gnome's trying to climb back up there onto the chart. Sol's getting some okay
He's got
damage
Shin
off.
size online too, which is something that we didn't take note of yet. I mean, if Gnome can be left unchecked in a fight, especially against this Isis, which has been his primary target, I mean, he's just going to stomp her down. There's not anything that Elexum can do unless all hits like a really well-timed wall.
Just saying it, he's going straight onto Elexum. Purification Force. Gnome does not want to dive the tower. There was Watson. Dives in, trying to zone him back. Spirit Ball hit onto Hyrdra there. Wall does not connect, but Gnome taking a lot of poke here. Forced to ultimate disengage once more. Curse has been popped to stop his healing regen. Sprint popped in response by Barrage. They're giving chase. Lycan in the sky. Who's he looking for? Probably Gnome.
Oh, but he whiffs on Gnome, and Gnome saves the dash away, but Headhunter actually in the front line gets frozen out. Watson dashes in, but he has to back out. Hyrdra uses the circle protection defensively for now.
Defensively soak that damage. Not going to get a heal off it until the ring expires, which it does. Good poke from Headhunter, but it's not enough to stop them from taking a tier 2 tower. Barrage continue marching forward.
Oh, they want the Phoenix as well, but they think better of it and start heading over to the right-hand side lane. Elexum's going to back, and it looks like Barrage are just trying to clear out any jungle that spawned up, but there's nothing for them to take outside of that boar.
And the funny thing is this is Barrage playing their composition just better than Rival. Rival have the better composition going into mid-late game. We said that and how they should execute it. If they execute it correctly, there's not a whole lot Barrage can do. But Barrage know what they have to do in this game, where they need to position, who they need to protect, who the enemy target's going to come after.
You know what I'm really surprised at? Is the usage of these curses. Because there's only 2 sprints on the board. Curse is basically useless against sprint for the most part, but when there's only 1, you can bait it out very easily. Isis.
But immediately Circle of Protection comes down as well as the Pillar of Agony to soak them all in. Zenborne took a lot of poke damage and Watson did good zone work, but Gnome still gets the kill onto Elexum. Important for Rival here as they finally bring down that Isis. What is going to be the next option? Well, Lycan swinging around, checking they're not doing Fire Giant, realizes that, so Rival just retreat.
And Rival recognized that 1 pick doesn't mean they can immediately force this, especially considering they burned a couple of their important ultimates there. And Sentry Ward just going to go down, Barrage making sure they control their jungle. In the mid lane, though, going to notice the Zhong just trying to split push by himself.
He's not really going to be able to split push too much. More than likely, Zhong just trying to continue stacking up once again to get his passive online, get those extra protections ready for his own.
Look what Atonement's actually picked up. He's actually gone the Gym of Isolation. And
so those slows.
It's not only the slows, though. I mean, that also gives a good amount of health. It's just continuing on this fact that Rival, like, all their players are so tanky, it's going to be very hard for Barrage to lock them down.
Watson going to silence.
Like, look at that.
Atonement,
just like
put him
no
in an
damage.
awkward spot, but there's a bird bomb from Hyrdra, and Hyrdra going to ring in 3 members. Lycan does not have a hammer yet. He's getting a lot of poke here, as is Or, but the turnaround coming out as Lycan goes aggressive here with Watson. Good silence, and Lycan doesn't get out as Gnome gets credit for the kill.
Jeron's coming around this side, though. Watson surrounded by 4 members. Mantle of Discord stuns them all, and now Jeron is just swinging through this team fight, but Big Baby going to dissuade him, and he's going to have to run away. Watson, he's being chased, but he should have his dash up, and he's actually going aggressive.
Not going to find out to Headhunter, but the Wingus will. Headhunter falls down too. No, I'm going to try and find Isis in the jungle, but Jeron with the poison darts will slow him down and allow Barrage to disengage.
2 for 1 in favor of Barrage there. 6,000 gold lead for them. Everyone's starting to reach that level 20 mark. Actually, a decent amount, still not level 20.
Well played, no. you see that World War?
No, what happened?
Backwards and forwards between the two. They're both trying to body block each other's auto attacks to take the ward out. And in the end, Elexum went for the Spirit Ball, so he knocked him up and took the ward.
All right, good play.
Small little things.
Gnome's had a pretty respectable game, and you could see his target in every fight is this Isis.
Well, this shows you what the issue is in this game, Kevin, is that Lycan should have played Fenrir because of his name. And Gnome chose the god that's basically after his name. So Gnome's having a better time of things. It's that simple.
Gnome needs to try and kill this Isis earlier in the fight if possible, or at the very least force Awe and Lycan to waste a lot of abilities protecting him.
Imp is doing so much work to the Fire Giant because of those oboe procs bouncing backwards and forwards off of Jeron on the Fire Giant. But Hydra's in the corner here. They've got to be careful. I don't think they know his Hydra is around the back. Has he got the Bird Bomb available? Is he going to get it? No, he's a little bit too early. Ring goes down though, and a big Pillar of Agony from Watson's wrecking havoc. Elexum does go down to Atonement, though, and Atonement is chasing on. The Ghostbusters are here.
And look at this, Lycan now caught between 3 players. Aw's here, but Big Baby comes out, and Lycan actually teleports to the other side of him. Nice card coming out from Atonement. But look at this, Athena's here as well, looking for a taunt, and it's going to be on Lycan.
Oh, that jump was not the best, but he's still got him away from danger. Gets away with the ultimate in the end. Atonement disengaged.
Barely.
Fire Giant did go the way of Barrage, but they suffered 2 casualties.
And it's on 2 of their hard carries, right? They lose it on Isis, and more importantly, they lose it on Xbalanque. Now, Xbalanque is still going to be doing a lot of damage in these fights, but he won't be swinging for the 1,000 crits.
And instead, his rival and now have an opportunity here. Or actually, with that wall, slows those minions down a minute, which allows rival to group them up a little bit better for pushing down this tower here. 2-man taunt, and there's the bull. Bird Bomb jumps in too, but Watson once again on the front line, zoning him away with the pillar. The ring is down from Hyrdra, but Watson's keeping them all pinned in. Watson gets a double kill as Gnome does take out Lycan on the back, and Watson's still going with the help of all, looking for Zenborne.
Zenborne able to dash out for now, but Watson working on Hyrdra. All 3 of these players super tanky. I don't think anyone's going to be dying anytime soon. But I mean, Watson 7-1-7, so impactful this game. 36,000 damage on the board. He has 14,000 more damage than anyone on Team Rival.
It's his positioning more than anything else. Every single fight, he's been in the right position.
He knows when to use his abilities too, right? He knows when the perfect time to hold his ultimate, when to burn it, who to target, and every time he's just making these big impactful plays.
Oh, going to tank up the tower here. The Phoenix, I should say, is the team is starting to group forward. They've got no minions just yet. There's the ultimate pop from Jeron, using the extra range more than anything to allow him to swing on the Phoenix and pick it up. Barrage answer in spades after Watson's helpful defense with all.
And they're going to come over to this left-hand side and take out this tier 2 tower.
That was really, I want to point that out, Jeron's ultimate there was fantastic for the extra range. People don't take that into account very often, and a lot of players don't really abuse it that much.
I think it's just because it's so useful in team fights that they don't want to. They want to make sure to have it up when the fight goes off. But I mean, if you know you're not going to force anything, it is pretty important to use here.
God Fury's available, and Barrage going to swing around for it, or going to pull that one for his team.
I like this recent item that Elexum picked up. We just saw it actually used there. Gnome looks like he wants to try and force this, and all of Rival are here as well.
This could be a waste, looking for a Gold Fury for that, because now those ults are on cooldown. And I tell you what else is on cooldown, Elexum's respawn timer. Oz will join any second as well. The rest of Barrage disappear. What was that call?
Not worth. This late into the game, it's not worth that Gold Fury. They should have just dropped it and backed up. And because of that, Rival find 2 kills. They're going to find this tower uncontested.
Respawn time.
Debatably, they could go and look for either the other towers or take a Phoenix. And I think they're looking for a Phoenix.
It's 43 seconds on the respawn time as 2 members of Barrage, the Isis and the Ymir. It's up to Watson here with Jeron and Lycan to defend this Phoenix. No minions, and it's actually Headhunter tanking this one up. Gets silenced. Aeololopo, luckily Disapparator will come online, but Watson's hunting for him, and he will find him, pull him with a Pillar of Agony, and Headhunter will fall down for his discretions of staying around too long. Ring isolates Watson, and Rival are trying to run away as Jeron is getting some good damage off with that oboe, continuing the chase on. The boys of Barrage have defended, and it's Rival that have overextended.
The wall was perfect. Now Lycan's going to be chasing Gnome. Watson's there as well. Big Baby used, but Jeron's doing so much damage. Lycan's going to take this guy, and they're just going to wait for Big Baby to end. Actually, going to switch his target to Atonement, and Jeron going to be able to finish that one off. And now,
better choice of target, honestly. Take out the damage dealer in Zhong.
What was Headhunter doing?
Well, the funny thing about that is we saw the mistake from Barrage of wasting 2 ultimates for a Gold Fury when you've got Fire Giant. and you're relatively full build anyway, it wasn't that important, and then you die for it because you didn't want to try and zone or defend against the invasion of Team Rival, and then Headhunter just felt himself too much and went, I'll tank it, guys, even though I've got Gnome, and I've got an Odin, and I've got
His
an Athena,
entire team is super
and I've got a Zhong.
He's a Zhong who's built pretty tanky, and now, honestly, this could be game.
Is it game, though? That's
Titan.
the question. The ring is down, Peliragni doing work. Watson took a lot of poke pressure, didn't get a heal, but Circle of Protection's down. This is game. Barrage will move on. Mistakes from both teams, but Barrage executed their game plan a lot better than their opposition.
I liked Rival. I felt like, just from the game we watched, I felt like both were better than Cleanup Crew that we saw. So depending on who gets third, fourth, that's going to be interesting. Especially
better than
looking at
Cleanup Crew? You reckon they're both better than Cleanup Crew?
I think so too. I think both of them, like Cleanup Crew has some stuff to work on. It's all pretty strong potential, I think, from all of these teams, but I mean, both of those teams played phenomenal. Rival, they're very close to being good. They're very close to being good. And to be fair, Watson was the best player on European Xbox last year, and he's looking like the best one this year as well.
Well, Barrage now march on to the finals, who they will face. We'll see on the screen now, and it will be Cleanup Crew.
So now we get to,
So you get to have a little look at that, because for me, Rival had a great game plan. They just didn't execute it as well as they did.
I agree.
Meanwhile, Barrage, they went for the early game, and they controlled throughout. Their team play and chemistry was very, very good. We're going to see a fantastic final coming up next.
That'll be brought to you in just a few minutes, guys, so stick around.